The van stops. Karen's hands press against the metal floor, fingers splayed wide, trying to read vibration instead of sound. His suppressants are wearing thin. He can smell rust, diesel, and something sharper underneath. Cleaning solution used to scrub out scent trails. They don't want him tracked. The door opens without warning. Cold air rushes in, slicing through the thin coat draped over his shoulders. He doesn't move. Movement draws attention. Attention draws decisions he can't control. A hand grips his upper arm firm, not cruel. He's pulled upright, guided forward. His feet find pavement, then tile. The air changes. Warmer now, enclosed. The kind of warmth that comes from climate control, not bodies. No one speaks to him. He expected questions. Paperwork. The usual performance of bureaucracy that pretends care is happening. Instead, there's only silence and the soft click of shoes against polished floors. His pulse ticks faster. The baby shifts inside him, pressing against his ribs like a fist demanding space he doesn't have to give. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. They stop walking. A door opens somewhere ahead. He's guided through it. The hand releases him. Kairon stands still, waiting for instructions that don't come. The room smells like leather and paper. Old money, the kind that doesn't shout. His coat slips slightly off one shoulder. He adjusts it without thinking, covering the swell of his belly even though everyone here already knows. He hears breathing, not his own. 3 separate rhythms. Slow, controlled, close enough to matter. His eyes adjust to the dim light. There are men in this room, 3 of them, seated in chairs that face him like a panel of judges. One of them isn't looking at him. Not because he's distracted, because he can't. Karen's throat tightens. The man's eyes are open, but they don't track movement. Don't follow Karen's small shift of weight from one foot to the other. Blind. The second man is watching him, but there's something off about the stillness. No reaction to the door closing behind Kairon. No flinch when the guard's radio crackles briefly in the hallway outside. Deaf. The third man hasn't moved at all. Not his hands. Not his legs. His gaze is sharp, locked on Kairon with an intensity that makes his skin prickle. But his body remains perfectly, unnaturally still from the chest down. Paralyzed. Karen's breath catches. He was told he'd be brought before the Syndicate's leadership. He expected threats, posturing, men who'd look at him like cargo that arrived damaged. These men aren't posturing. They're waiting. The blind one tilts his head slightly, as if listening to something Kairon can't hear. The deaf one's eyes narrow, reading something in Karen's posture that he didn't mean to give away. The paralyzed one blinks once, slow and deliberate. No one has said a word. Kairon swallows hard. His hand moves instinctively to his stomach, a useless protective gesture. The baby kicks again, harder this time. He doesn't know what they want from him. He doesn't know if he'll leave this room. But he knows, with sudden cold certainty, that these men see him. Not the pregnancy. Not the Omega designation stamped on every piece of paperwork that's followed him since puberty. Him. The blind man speaks first. His voice is low, rough around the edges like gravel smoothed by water. You walked here on your own. It's not a question. Kairon nods before remembering the man can't see it. Yes. No one carried you. No one forced you through the door. No. The deaf man's gaze sharpens. He's reading Karen's lips, watching the shape of every word. The paralyzed man's eyes don't leave Karen's face. When he speaks, his voice is quieter than the others, but it cuts through the room like a blade. Then why are you shaking? Karen's knees lock. He isn't shaking. He's holding himself together with every scrap of control he has left. But his hands are trembling. He looks down at them, betrayed by his own body. The blind man leans forward slightly. You're afraid. Yes. Of us. Karen's jaw tightens. He could lie. He's good at it. He's had to be. But something about the way they're listening, really listening, not just waiting for their turn to speak, makes the lie stick in his throat. No. The word comes out softer than he intended. The deaf man's expression shifts. Not surprise, something closer to recognition. The paralyzed man's fingers twitch once against the armrest of his chair. It's the only movement he's made since Kairon entered the room. Then what are you afraid of? The blind man asks. Karen's breath stutters. The truth is too big, too complicated, too buried under months of paperwork and polite conversations that ended with his name on a relocation list he never signed. He doesn't know how to explain that fear isn't about the people in front of him. It's about the ones who aren't here, the ones who sent him. The deaf man says something. Kairon doesn't catch it at first because the man's voice is strange. Flat in places, shaped differently than hearing people speak. But the words are clear enough. You're not here to ask for help. Karen's heart slams against his ribs. No. Then why are you here? The baby kicks again. Karen's hand presses harder against his stomach, feeling the shape of a foot or elbow pushing back. He came here because he had nowhere else to go. He came here because the system that was supposed to protect him decided he was expensive. He came here because 3 words kept circling in his head, and he didn't know who else would understand what they meant. The blind man stands, slowly, carefully. His hand finds the edge of the table beside him without fumbling. He's done this 1,000 times. You don't have to tell us now, he says. The deaf man watches Karen's face, reading every micro-expression. The paralyzed man's gaze hasn't wavered. Kairon realizes, with a jolt that makes his stomach turn, that they're not evaluating him. They're giving him a choice. He can leave, right now, walk back through that door and disappear into whatever comes next. Or he can stay. And staying means trusting men he doesn't know with a truth that could erase him. The blind man's head tilts again, listening. You're still here, he says quietly. Karen's throat closes. He is. He doesn't know why. The paralyzed man speaks again. And this time there's something in his voice that wasn't there before. Not pity, understanding. Then sit down, he says. And when you're ready, we'll listen. Karen's legs almost give out. No one has ever said that to him before. He doesn't sit. Not yet. Because if he sits, if he stays, if he says what he came here to say, there's no going back. The deaf man signs something. The blind man nods. The paralyzed man's eyes close for just a moment, then open again. Waiting. They're all waiting. For him. Kairon takes one shaking breath, then another, and then he sits. What do you think happens when Kairon finally speaks? Drop your guess below. Karen's file arrived 3 days before he did. He doesn't know this yet. Doesn't know that the Syndicate's medical board flagged his pregnancy as high risk not because of his health, but because of cost projections. Doesn't know that someone ran numbers and decided his care would exceed acceptable margins. All he knows is that 6 weeks ago he had a caseworker who smiled when she talked. Now he has a relocation order. The chair they gave him is too soft. His weight sinks into it and the angle makes his back ache. He shifts, trying to find a position that doesn't put pressure on his spine. But there isn't one. The blind man, Kairon still doesn't have names for any of them, has moved to the window. He's standing with his back to the room, head tilted like he's listening to something outside. But the windows are thick, soundproofed. He's not listening to the street. He's listening to Kairon breathe. The deaf man hasn't looked away once. His eyes track every small movement. The way Karen's fingers curl against his knee. The way his shoulders hunch forward protectively. He's reading a language Kairon didn't know he was speaking. The paralyzed man hasn't moved. His chair is mechanized, Kairon realizes now. There's a subtle control panel built into the armrest. He could leave if he wanted to. He's choosing to stay. Karen's caseworker used to say that Omegas were valued, protected, that the Syndicate took care of its people. She said it while holding a tablet that listed him as inventory. He remembers sitting in her office, stomach just starting to show, listening to her explain his options. Except they weren't options. They were decisions someone else had already made. You'll be relocated to a care facility, she'd said. Her smile never wavered. It's for your safety. And the babies. Kairon asked where. She didn't answer. He asked when he'd be able to leave. She changed the subject. He asked who approved the transfer. Her smile finally cracked. Just for a second. Just long enough for him to see that she knew exactly what this was. And she was doing it anyway. The blind man turns from the window. His movements are careful, economical. He doesn't reach out to steady himself. Doesn't need to. You were assigned to medical directive clearance, he says. It's not a question. Karen's chest tightens. How do you? We know what that means. The deaf man signs something. The paralyzed man's jaw tightens. Kairon doesn't understand the signs, but he understands the reaction. Medical directive clearance is what they call it when an omega becomes a problem. When the pregnancy is inconvenient. When someone decides that care costs more than the return. It's efficient. It's clean. It's legal. Karen's hands curl into fists against his thighs. They told me it was protective housing. It's not. The words come from the paralyzed man. Flat. Certain. Karen's breath shakes. He knew. Somewhere deep down, beneath the fear and the exhaustion, he knew. But hearing it out loud makes it real. How long have you been carrying? The blind man asks. 7 months. Do you have family? No. Someone who knows you're here? Karen's throat closes. No. The deaf man's expression shifts. Not pity. Something harder. The blind man walks closer. His steps are measured, precise. He stops just short of Karen's chair, close enough that Kairon can feel the heat of another body nearby. You're not the first, the blind man says quietly. Karen's stomach drops. There are others? There were. Past tense. Karen's hands move to his belly instinctively, covering it like he can shield the baby from words. The paralyzed man speaks again. Medical directive clearance doesn't house omegas. It erases them. Karen's vision blurs. He blinks hard, refusing to let tears fall. Tears are weakness. Weakness gets you processed faster. Why are you telling me this? His voice cracks. The deaf man signs something. The blind man nods. Because you came here, the blind man says. And that means you already know. Karen's breath comes faster. His chest feels too tight. The baby kicks, and it hurts this time, sharp and insistent. He didn't come here for confirmation. He came here because he had nowhere else to go. The paralyzed man's gaze hasn't left Karen's face. You're not asking us to save you. No. Then what do you want? Karen's jaw clenches. He doesn't know how to put it into words. Doesn't know how to explain that he's not looking for rescue. He's looking for proof. Proof that someone else sees what he sees. Proof that the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. Proof that he's not crazy for being afraid. The blind man crouches down slowly, carefully, until he's level with Karen's chair. He can't see Karen's face, but he's close enough to hear every breath. You think we're part of it, the blind man says. Karen's heart stops. I don't know what you are. The deaf man's hands move, signing something longer this time. The blind man's expression hardens. We were, the blind man says. Once. Karen's pulse hammers in his ears. The paralyzed man's fingers tap once against his chair. Not anymore. Kairon doesn't understand. He doesn't know what changed. Doesn't know what made 3 men at the center of the Syndicate decide to stop. But he knows what it costs to stand against the system. And they're still here. The blind man rises to his full height again. You were told you'd be presented, not housed. Kairon nods, then remembers. Yes. Presented to who? Karen's stomach turns. I don't know. The deaf man's hands move sharply. The paralyzed man's eyes narrow. That's the point, the paralyzed man says. You're not supposed to know. Karen's breath stutters. He wants to ask more, wants to demand answers. But his body is shaking now, and he can't stop it. The baby kicks again, harder. The blind man hears the sharp intake of breath. Are you in pain? No. The lie comes automatically. Don't do that. Karen's eyes burn. Do what? Lie to make us comfortable. The words hit like a fist. Karen's whole life has been about making people comfortable. Smiling when caseworkers lied. nodding when doctors talked around him instead of to him, pretending he didn't notice when his name moved from one list to another without explanation. The deaf man stands. He crosses the room and picks up a tablet from the desk. He taps the screen a few times, then turns it toward Kairon. It's a medical file. His medical file. Karen's hands shake as he takes the tablet. The screen is filled with notes, codes, authorization stamps, and at the bottom, in small print, a single line. Approval for permanent placement pending final review. Permanent. Karen's vision tunnels. The tablet slips from his hands. The deaf man catches it before it hits the floor. Who signed this? Karen's voice is barely a whisper. The paralyzed man's expression is carved from stone. Everyone. Karen's chest heaves. He can't breathe. Can't think. The blind man's hand hovers near Karen's shoulder. Not touching. Just close enough to offer presence. You're here because you want us to know, the blind man says. Kairon nods. His whole body is shaking now. Then we know. The words are simple, but they crack something open inside Karen's chest. He came here expecting nothing, and they gave him the one thing he needed. Belief. The deaf man sets the tablet down carefully. He signs something to the others. The paralyzed man's jaw tightens. What happens now? Kairon asks. The blind man's expression is unreadable. That depends on you. I don't have a choice. You do. Karen's laugh is bitter, broken. I'm 7 months pregnant. I have no family, no money, nowhere to go. What choice do I have? The paralyzed man's gaze is steady, unflinching. You can stay. Will Kairon trust them enough to stay? Or will fear send him running? Comment what you think. Kairon doesn't leave. He tells himself it's because his legs won't hold him, because the baby is pressing too hard against his lungs and he needs another minute to breathe. But that's not why. He stays because no one has ever offered him a choice before. The blind man moves first. He crosses to a side table and pours water into a glass. His hands don't fumble, don't search. He knows exactly where everything is. He holds the glass out in Karen's direction, arm extended at the perfect height. Kairon takes it. His fingers brush the other man's briefly. The contact is warm. Thank you. The blind man nods once and returns to his position by the window. Kairon drinks. The water is cold, clean. It helps. The deaf man pulls a second chair closer and sits, not across from Kairon, beside him, close enough that Kairon can see his hands clearly when he signs. The paralyzed man hasn't moved, but his gaze has softened slightly. Not pity, something closer to recognition. You're Kairon, Kairon says suddenly, looking at the blind man. Kairon's head tilts. You know us? Everyone knows you. Karen's voice is steadier now. The Syndicate's heirs, the triplets. The deaf man, Ilias, Kairon realizes, signs something. His expression is sharp. We're not heirs anymore, Kairon says quietly. We're considered decorative. Karen's stomach twists. He's heard the rumors, the tragic accident, the heroic survival, the Syndicate's public commitment to caring for its own. All lies. What happened to you? The question slips out before Kairon can stop it. The paralyzed man, Rex, smiles, but there's no humor in it. The same thing that's happening to you. Someone decided you were expensive. Something like that. Kairon sets the glass down carefully. His hands are still shaking, but less now. Why are you telling me this? Ilias signs. Rex translates. Because you're the first one who made it this far. Made it where? Here. To us. Alive. The word hangs in the air like smoke. Karen's chest tightens. The others didn't get the choice you're getting, Kairon finishes. Karen's breath catches. He thinks about the medical file, the approvals, the careful language that made disappearance sound like care. How many? He asks. Rex's jaw tightens. We don't know. Records are scrubbed clean. Ilias signs again, sharper this time. Kairon's expression darkens. Ilias says at least 24 in the last 3 years. Maybe more. Karen's vision swims. 24 omegas. Gone. Erased. And no one noticed because the system made it look like kindness. Why me? His voice cracks. Why am I different? You're not, Rex says bluntly. You just got lucky. Lucky. You were flagged for processing 3 days ago, but someone made a mistake. What mistake? Kairon turns from the window. They sent your file to us for final approval. Karen's breath stops. The council usually handles clearances directly. Rex continues. But your case was flagged as high profile. Something about your medical history triggered a secondary review. What medical history? Ilias pulls the tablet back up. He scrolls through Karen's file and taps a section. Turns it toward him. Kairon reads. His hands go numb. There's a note from 4 years ago. A psychiatric evaluation. He'd been struggling, drowning under the weight of expectations and suppressants that made his skin feel like it belonged to someone else. He'd asked for help. The evaluation labeled him unstable. And now that label was being used to justify erasing him. They think I'm a risk, Kairon whispers. They think you're inconvenient, Kairon corrects. The instability label just makes it easier to approve. Karen's chest heaves. He wants to scream, wants to put his fist through something. But his body won't cooperate. All he can do is sit there, shaking, while the truth crushes him. Ilias signs something gentle. Kairon translates. He says you're not unstable. You're angry, and you should be. Karen's laugh is sharp, broken. Anger doesn't change anything. No, Rex says. But it's a start. Kairon looks at him. Really looks. Rex's body is motionless from the chest down, but his eyes are alive. Sharp. Burning with something Kairon recognizes. Rage that learned to wait. What do you want from me? Kairon asks. Nothing, Kairon says. I don't believe you. Rex's smile is thin. Good. You shouldn't trust easily. Ilias signs. Kairon nods. We're not asking you to do anything, Kairon says. We're offering you a choice. You can leave. Right now. We'll make sure you get out of the city safely. Give you enough money to disappear. Or you stay. You tell us everything. And we find out who's really behind this. Karen's heart slams against his ribs. Why would you do that? The question seems to surprise them. Rex's expression shifts. Because no one did it for us. The words are simple, honest, and they break something inside Kairon. He thinks about leaving, about taking the money and running, about finding some small town where no one knows what Omega designations mean. But running doesn't stop the system. It just saves one person. And there are 24 others who didn't get that chance. Karen's hands move to his stomach. The baby is quiet now, resting. He thinks about the life growing inside him, about what kind of world he's bringing them into. A world where people disappear because they're expensive, where help looks like harm, where the only thing protecting you is whether or not you're convenient. He looks at Kairon, at Ilias, at Rex. 3 men the system tried to erase. 3 men who survived. If I stay, Kairon says slowly, what happens? We listen, Kairon says. And then we act. Act how? Rex's smile is sharp. Carefully. Ilias signs something longer. Kairon's expression hardens as he translates. He says the people who did this to you are the same ones who did this to us. And they've been operating unchecked for years. So this is revenge. No, Rex says. It's accountability. Karen's breath shakes. He doesn't know if he believes them. Doesn't know if this is real or just another version of the same trap. But he knows what happens if he leaves. He disappears. The baby disappears. And the system keeps running. I need a promise, Kairon says. Kairon's head tilts. What kind? If something happens to me, his voice cracks. He swallows hard and tries again. If something happens to me, you make sure the baby is safe. Ilias's hands stop mid-sign. Rex's eyes close briefly. Kairon crosses the room. He stops in front of Karen's chair, close enough that Kairon can feel the heat of him. Nothing is going to happen to you, Kairon says. You can't promise that. No, but we can make it harder for them to try. Karen's eyes burn. He blinks hard. Rex's voice is quiet but firm. You have our word. Whatever happens, your child will be protected. Karen's chest heaves. He doesn't know why he trusts them. Doesn't know what makes these three men different from everyone else who's lied to him. But he does. Okay, he whispers. Kazran's expression softens. Okay, I'll stay. Ilias exhales. It's the first sound Karen's heard him make. Rex's fingers tap once against his chair. Relief. Kazran nods slowly. Then we start now. Karen's pulse quickens. Start what? Figuring out who ordered it. What do you think Kairon will reveal about who's behind his case? Drop your theories. Kairon doesn't sleep that night. They give him a room. Clean. Quiet. A bed softer than anything he's touched in months. There's a bathroom attached, stocked with things he didn't ask for but needs. Soap that doesn't smell like disinfectant, towels that aren't threadbare. Feels like a trap. He sits on the edge of the bed, hands pressed against his stomach, feeling the baby shift and settle. His mind won't stop racing. He's inside the Syndicate's private compound. The same organization that flagged him for erasure. The same people who've been disappearing Omegas for years. And he just agreed to help three men he met 4 hours ago dismantle it from the inside. His caseworker's voice echoes in his head. You're being relocated for your safety. Safety. Karen's laugh is bitter. He presses his palms against his eyes until colors bloom in the darkness. When morning comes, he's still sitting on the bed. Still dressed. Still waiting for the door to lock from the outside. It doesn't. A soft knock breaks the silence. Karen's body goes rigid. It's Ilias, a voice says from the other side. The words are shaped strangely, but clear. Kairon stands slowly. His back aches. His feet are swollen. He crosses to the door and opens it. Ilias stands in the hallway, relaxed. He's holding a tray, food. Kairon realizes. Real food. Eggs, toast, fruit. Not the nutrient bars he's been surviving on. Ilias holds the tray out. Kairon takes it automatically. Ilias signs something, then pauses, pulls a small tablet from his pocket and types, turns it toward Kairon. You didn't sleep. It's not a question. Karen's throat tightens. How do you know? Ilias types again. I can see it. Kairon looks at his own reflection in the darkened window across the hall. His eyes are hollowed out, shadows carved beneath them. I'm fine, Kairon says. Ilias's expression shifts. He types, you don't have to lie here. The words hit harder than they should. Karen's hands tighten around the tray. I don't know how to do that. Ilias nods, types again. You'll learn. He gestures down the hall. Kairon follows. They walk in silence. Ilias moves with precision, every step deliberate. He doesn't check to see if Kairon is keeping up. He just trusts that he is. They reach a room at the end of the corridor. Ilias opens the door and steps aside. Kazran and Rex are already inside. The room is different from the one Kairon was brought to yesterday. Smaller, more intimate. There's a table in the center covered in files, tablets, and what looks like a map of the city. Rex glances up. You came. I said I would. People say a lot of things. Kairon sets the tray down on the edge of the table. I'm not most people. Rex's smile is faint. No, you're not. Kazran is standing near the window again. He turns when Kairon enters. Did you eat? Not yet. Eat first. Then we talk. It's not a suggestion. Kairon sits. His stomach growls, betraying him. He picks up the fork and takes a bite of eggs. They're warm, seasoned. Someone actually cooked this. Ilias sits across from him. Kazran moves to the table but doesn't sit. Rex wheels his chair closer. Kairon eats slowly, aware of 3 sets of eyes on him. Not watching him like a specimen, just present. When he finishes, Kazran speaks. We need you to walk us through everything. From the beginning. Karen's chest tightens. What beginning? When you first realized something was wrong. Karen's hands curl around the edge of the table. I don't know when that was. Then start with what you do know. Kairon exhales slowly. His mind scrolls back, trying to find the moment. The first crack in the surface. I had a caseworker, he says finally. Her name was Delaney. She was nice, or I thought she was. Rex's eyes narrow. Delaney. Last name, Cortez. Ilias types something on his tablet. Rex glances at the screen and his expression hardens. What? Kairon asks. She's flagged in our system, Rex says. Multiple Omega cases under her supervision. All approved for medical directive clearance. Karen's stomach drops. How many? 7 in the last 18 months. 7. Karen's vision swims. He thinks about Delaney's smile, her gentle voice. The way she called him sweetheart while signing papers that would erase him. She knew, Kairon whispers. Yes. The whole time. Yes. Karen's breath comes faster. His hands shake. Kazran moves closer, not touching, just close enough that Kairon can feel his presence. Breathe, Kazran says quietly. Kairon tries, fails, tries again. She told me it was for my safety, Kairon says. His voice cracks. She said the facility was designed for high-risk pregnancies, that I'd have support. Medical care. What facility? Rex asks. I don't know. She never told me the name. Ilias types, turns the tablet toward Rex. Rex's jaw tightens. There are 3 facilities in the network, Rex says. All privately funded. All off public record. What happens there? Kairon asks. No one answers. The silence is worse than words. Karen's hands move to his stomach. The baby kicks and he flinches. I need to know, Kairon says. Kazran's expression is carved from stone. Omegas go in. They don't come out. Karen's breath stops. The babies? He whispers. Rex's eyes close briefly. Adopted. Sold. We don't know for sure. Karen's chest heaves. He wants to vomit. Wants to scream. But his body won't move. Ilias reaches across the table. His hand hovers near Karen's. Not touching. Just offering. Karen's fingers move on their own. He grabs Ilias's hand and holds on. Ilias doesn't pull away. We're going to stop this, Kazran says. How? Karen's voice is raw. By finding proof. Real proof. Names. Transactions. Authorizations. And then what? Rex's smile is sharp. Then we burn it down. Karen's grip on Ilias's hand tightens. They'll kill you. They already tried, Kazran says quietly. Kairon looks at him. At the unfocused eyes that see more than most people ever will. The fire, Kairon says. It wasn't an accident. No. They did this to you. Yes. Karen's throat closes. Why didn't you fight back? Rex's expression is unreadable. We did. Just not the way they expected. Ilias types. Holds up the tablet. We waited. For what? Kairon asks. Kazran's smile is faint. For someone like you. Karen's breath stutters. He doesn't understand. Doesn't know what they see in him that he can't see in himself. I'm not special, he says. You walked into a Syndicate compound 7 months pregnant and asked to be heard. Rex says. That's either brave or stupid. It was stupid. Maybe. But you're still here. Karen's eyes burn. He blinks hard. Kazran moves to the table and picks up a file. He holds it out in Karen's general direction. Ilias takes it and passes it to Kairon. Kairon opens it. Inside are medical records. Not his. Someone else's. Another Omega. Pregnant. Flagged for clearance. Who is this? Kairon asks. Was. Rex corrects. Her name was Simone. She was 23. Karen's hands shake. What happened to her? She was processed 6 months ago. We found her file 2 weeks later. And the baby? Silence. Kairon closes the file. His chest feels too tight. There are more, Kazran says quietly. Kairon looks up. How many more? Rex gestures to the table. It's covered in files. Dozens of them. Karen's breath stops. We've been collecting evidence for 2 years, Rex says. But we couldn't act without someone who could testify. Someone who survived the system long enough to see how it works. And you think that's me? We know it is. Karen's pulse hammers in his ears. He looks at the files, at the names, at the faces of people who were erased. What do you need me to do? He asks. Kairon's expression softens. Tell us everything Delaney told you. Every word. Every document she showed you. Every promise she made. And then we find out who gave her orders. Karen's hands tremble. He thinks about Delaney's smile, her soft voice, the way she made disappearance sound like care. She's not the only one, Kairon says. No, Rex agrees. But she's the one we can trace. Ilias types. Start with the first meeting. Kairon exhales slowly. His mind scrolls back. To the office. The 2 bright lights. The chair that didn't fit his body. He starts talking. And for the first time in his life, someone listens without interrupting. Do you think Delaney was acting alone? Or is someone higher up pulling the strings? Comment below. Kairon talks for 3 hours. He tells them everything. Every meeting with Delaney. Every form she slid across the desk with that too kind smile. Every time she used words like safety and support while his gut screamed that something was wrong. Kairon listens without moving. Ilias watches Karen's face, reading every expression. Rex takes notes on a tablet, his fingers moving in sharp, precise taps. When Kairon finally stops, his throat is raw. His hands are shaking. The baby has been restless for the last hour, kicking and shifting like they can feel his fear. Ilias types, turns the tablet toward him. You did well. Karen's laugh is hollow. I just confessed to being stupid enough to trust her. You trusted someone whose job is to be trustworthy, Kairon says. That's not stupid. That's human. Karen's chest tightens. Rex sets his tablet down. There's a pattern. Every form she had you sign includes a consent clause buried in the fine print. Consent for what? Medical intervention, relocation, and Rex's jaw tightens. Termination of parental rights in the event of incapacity. Karen's breath stops. What? If you're declared mentally or physically incapable of caring for the child, the Syndicate assumes guardianship. Automatically. Karen's hands move to his stomach. But I'm not incapable. Doesn't matter. The psychiatric evaluation from 4 years ago gives them legal justification. That evaluation was because I asked for help. And now it's being used to take everything from you. Karen's vision blurs. He presses his palms against his eyes. I signed those forms. I gave them permission. You signed under duress, Kairon says. Without full disclosure. That's coercion, not consent. Will that matter? Rex's expression is grim. Not to the people who wrote the system. Karen's breath shakes. He feels like he's drowning, like the walls are closing in. Ilias reaches across the table again. This time, he doesn't wait for Kairon to reach back. He just rests his hand palm up on the table. An offer. Kairon takes it. Kairon moves closer. We have enough to trace the approvals. But we need one more thing. Kairon looks up. What? The name of the person who authorized your clearance. I don't know who that is. You do, Rex says quietly. You just don't realize it yet. Karen's mind races. He thinks about every conversation with Delaney. Every signature on every form. She never said a name, Kairon says. She didn't have to, Rex says. Look at this. He turns his tablet toward Kairon. On the screen is one of the forms Kairon signed. At the bottom, beneath Delaney's signature, is another name, partially redacted, but 3 letters are visible. RVC. Karen's blood runs cold. What does that mean? He asks. Kairon's expression darkens. It means the authorization came from inside the Valkyran Council. Karen's stomach drops. Your council? Yes, but you're Valkyrans. You're heirs. We were, Kairon says, before the fire, before we became inconvenient. Karen's hands tighten around Ilias's. They tried to kill you. Yes. And now they're trying to erase me. Yes. Karen's breath comes faster. His chest heaves. Why? Rex's gaze is steady, unflinching. Because we asked questions. Because we hesitated. Because we cared about things we weren't supposed to care about. Like omegas. Like people. Karen's vision swims. He thinks about the fire. About 3 boys who survived but were never the same. About a system that decided they were easier to control broken. They're still trying to kill you, Kairon whispers. Kazran's smile is faint. They're trying. We're still here. Ilias types. And so are you. Karen's throat closes. He doesn't feel strong. Doesn't feel brave. He feels terrified. But he's still here. Rex leans forward slightly. The council meets in 3 days. We can't attend. But you can. Karen's pulse spikes. What? You're flagged for final review. That means you'll be presented to the council for approval. I thought I was already approved. Preliminary approval. The council has final say. Karen's hands go numb. You want me to walk into a room full of people who want me dead. We want you to walk in, say 3 words, and walk out. Karen's breath stops. What 3 words? Kazran's expression is carved from stone. They ordered it. Karen's vision tunnels. His ears ring. No, he whispers. Kairon. No. His voice is stronger now. I'm not doing that. It's the only way to expose them. It's suicide. Rex's jaw tightens. We'll protect you. How? You can't even attend the meeting. We have people inside. People who haven't stopped them yet. Kazran moves closer. His hand hovers near Karen's shoulder. We know what we're asking. Do you? Karen's voice cracks. Do you know what it's like to walk into a room full of people who see you as cargo? Who've already decided you're worthless? Silence. Ilias's hand tightens around Karen's. Yes, Kazran says quietly. We do. Karen's breath shakes. He looks at Kazran's unfocused eyes. At Ilias's careful stillness. At Rex's immobile body. They know. They've lived it. If I do this, Kairon says slowly, what happens after? We record everything. Use it to dismantle the council. Shut down the facilities. Expose the whole system. And if they kill me first? Rex's expression is unreadable. Then we make sure it wasn't for nothing. Karen's hands move to his stomach. The baby kicks. Hard. He thinks about Simone. About the 24 others. About every Omega who disappeared because the system decided they were expensive. He thinks about his child. About the world they'll be born into. A world where people disappear. Or a world where someone finally fought back. Karen's breath steadies. He looks at Kazran. At Ilias. At Rex. If I do this, he says, I need your word. If something happens to me, if they take me, you don't stop. You finish this. Kazran's jaw tightens. You have our word. Ilias nods. Rex's eyes burn. We finish it. Karen's chest heaves. He's terrified. But he's not leaving. Okay, he whispers. Kazran exhales. Rex's fingers tap once against his chair. Ilias types. Holds up the tablet. You're braver than you think. Karen's eyes burn. He doesn't feel brave. But he's still here. And in 3 days, he'll walk into that room. And say the 3 words that will either save him or end him. Will Kairon survive the council meeting? What do you think happens when he speaks those 3 words? Drop your predictions. The document arrives at midnight. Kairon is half asleep when the soft knock breaks through the quiet. He sits up too fast, and his vision swims. The baby protests with a sharp kick to his ribs. He opens the door. Ilias stands in the hallway, tablet in hand. His face is tight, controlled, but his eyes are burning. He doesn't type, just turns the tablet toward Kairon. On the screen is a scanned document. Official letterhead. Syndicate seal stamped in the corner. Authorization for permanent placement. Kairon Baptiste. Approval status. Pending final review. Council session. January 23rd, 2026. 3 days from now. Karen's hands shake as he takes the tablet. He scrolls down. There are signatures at the bottom, 5 of them, each one a council member. And at the very top, partially visible through a redaction box, are the initials he recognizes now. RVC. They're moving faster than we thought, Kairon whispers. Ilias nods. He types quickly. They know something changed. How? Ilias gestures for Kairon to follow. They move through the hallway in silence. The compound is quiet at this hour. Too quiet. They reach the room where Kazran and Rex are waiting. Both men look like they haven't slept. Rex speaks first. Someone flagged your file again. 2 hours ago. Karen's stomach drops. Why? Because you disappeared from the relocation queue, Kazran says. Delaney filed a report. She's claiming you fled. I didn't flee. I came here. She doesn't know that. As far as the system is concerned, you're missing. Karen's chest tightens. So they're looking for me. Not yet, but they will be. Rex's fingers move across his tablet. The council session was supposed to be routine approval. Now it's marked urgent. What does that mean? It means they're scared, Kazran says quietly. Karen's pulse hammers. Of me. Of what you represent. An Omega who walked away. Who didn't comply. I didn't walk away. I was brought here. They don't know that. And that uncertainty is dangerous for them. Ilias types. Turns the screen toward everyone. We need to move the timeline. To when? Kairon asks. Tomorrow, Rex says. Karen's breath stops. Tomorrow? I thought I had 3 days. You did. Now you have 1. Karen's legs almost give out. He grabs the edge of the table to steady himself. Kazran moves closer. We can't wait. If they send people to find you, this whole thing collapses. I'm not ready. You are. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to. You say the 3 words. Rex interrupts. That's it. Nothing more. Karen's hands shake. And then what? They just let me walk out. No, Kazran says honestly. They'll try to stop you. That's when we move. Move how? Ilias types. We have people inside. Security. Medical staff. People who've been waiting for this. Waiting for what? For proof, Rex says. For someone willing to stand in front of them and name what they've done. Karen's vision blurs. He thinks about Simone. About the others. About every Omega who disappeared because no one said their name out loud. What if I can't do it? His voice cracks. Kazran's expression softens. Then we find another way. There is no other way. There's always another way. Karen's throat closes. He wants to believe that. Wants to believe there's a version of this where he doesn't have to walk into a room full of people who want him erased. But he knows better. If I do this, Kairon says slowly, I need to know something. What? Rex asks. The fire. The one that hurt you. Who ordered it? Silence stretches between them. Kazran's jaw tightens. Ilias's hands still. Rex's eyes close briefly. We don't know for sure, Kazran says finally. But you have a guess. Yes. Tell me. Rex exhales slowly. The same person who's trying to erase you now. Karen's chest heaves. RVC. We think so. Who is it? Kazran's expression is carved from stone. Our uncle. Ronan Valkyrin Cross. The name lands like a physical blow. Kairon has heard that name before. Everyone has. Ronan Cross is the Syndicate's chief operations officer. The man who controls supply chains, medical approvals, relocation protocols. The man who decides who matters. He tried to kill you, Kairon whispers. He tried to make us irrelevant, Kazran corrects. Killing us would have drawn attention. Breaking us just made us easier to ignore. And now we're not so easy to ignore. Karen's hands move to his stomach. The baby is restless again, kicking, fighting for space. If I say those words tomorrow, Kairon says, he'll know you're involved. Yes, he'll come for you. He already has, Rex says. We're still here. Karen's breath shakes. He looks at them. 3 men who survived an uncle who decided they were inconvenient. 3 men who've been waiting years for a chance to fight back. Why didn't you do this before? Kairon asks. Why wait for me? Ilias types. Because we needed someone the system couldn't ignore. I'm just an Omega. They ignore us all the time. You're an Omega who walked into our compound and demanded to be heard, Kairon says. You're an Omega who refused to disappear quietly. That's not nothing. Kairon's eyes burn. He blinks hard. I'm scared, he admits. Good, Rex says. Fear keeps you sharp. What if I freeze? You won't. How do you know? Kairon's smile is faint. Because you're still standing. After everything you've been through, you're still standing. That's not luck. That's strength. Kairon's chest heaves. He doesn't feel strong. He feels like he's one breath away from shattering. But he's still here. Ilias reaches across the table, places something in Kairon's hand. It's a small recording device, no bigger than a button. Wear this tomorrow, Ilias types. It'll capture everything. Kairon stares at the device. It's so small, so fragile, just like him. What happens after I say it? Kairon asks. Rex's expression is unreadable. Chaos. And you're sure your people will get me out? We're sure they'll try. It's not a promise. It's honesty. Kairon closes his hand around the device. His palm is sweating. Okay, he whispers. Kairon exhales. Rex's fingers tap once against his chair. Ilias nods. Tomorrow, Kairon walks into the council chamber. Tomorrow, he speaks 3 words that will either destroy the system or destroy him. And tonight, for the first time in months, he prays. Not for safety, for courage. Do you think Kairon will make it out of the council chamber alive? What do you think Ronan will do when he hears those 3 words? Comment your predictions below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. This story is about to reach its breaking point. Share your thoughts and inspire others in the comments. The council chamber smells like expensive wood and old decisions. Kairon stands in the center of the room, hands folded over his stomach. The recording device is pinned inside his collar, hidden beneath the fabric. It feels like it's burning against his skin. There are 7 people seated at the curved table in front of him. 5 council members, 1 secretary. And at the far right, in a chair that looks more like a throne, sits Ronan Valkyrin Cross. He's younger than Kairon expected. Maybe 45, clean-shaven, sharp suit, eyes that don't blink often enough. He looks at Kairon the way someone looks at a stain they're deciding whether to clean or ignore. Kairon Baptiste, Ronan says. His voice is smooth, controlled. Thank you for joining us. Kairon's throat is dry. He doesn't respond. One of the other council members, a woman with silver hair pulled tight, speaks next. Your caseworker filed a report indicating you fled relocation processing. Is that accurate? No. The woman's eyebrow arches. No, I didn't flee. I was brought here. Brought by whom? Kairon's pulse spikes. He can't say their names. Not yet. By someone who thought I should be heard. Ronan leans forward slightly. And what exactly do you think you need to say? Kairon's hands tighten. The baby kicks. Hard. This is it. 3 words. He opens his mouth and nothing comes out. The silence stretches. The council members exchange glances. The secretary types something on her tablet. Ronan's expression doesn't change. If you have nothing to contribute, Mr. Baptiste, we can proceed with standard approval. Standard approval. Permanent placement. Erasure. Kairon's breath shakes. His vision tunnels. He hears Kairon's voice in his head. You're still standing. That's strength. He forces his jaw to unlock. They ordered it, Kairon says. The room goes still. Ronan's eyes narrow. Excuse me? They ordered it. Kairon's voice is stronger now. The disappearances, the relocations, the clearances. Someone in this room ordered all of it. The silver-haired woman's face goes pale. Another council member stands abruptly. This is inappropriate. Sit down, Ronan says quietly. The man sits. Ronan's gaze never leaves Kairon. That's a serious accusation, Mr. Baptiste. It's the truth. Truth requires evidence. I have evidence. Ronan's smile is thin. Do you? Karen's heart slams against his ribs. He thinks about the files, the signatures, the redacted initials. Yes. Then present it. Kairon hesitates. This wasn't the plan. He was supposed to say the words and leave. Let the recording do the rest. But Ronan is calling his bluff. And Kairon has nothing in his hands. The silver-haired woman speaks again. Mr. Baptiste, if you're making claims you can't substantiate, this council has grounds to escalate your clearance status immediately. Escalate to what? Kairon asks. No one answers. Karen's stomach turns. He knows what escalation means. It means they stop pretending. Stop using paperwork and polite words. It means he disappears tonight. Ronan stands. He's taller than Kairon expected. He moves around the table slowly, deliberately, until he's standing just a few feet away. You've been through a lot, Ronan says. His voice is almost kind. Pregnancy is difficult, stressful. Sometimes it makes people see things that aren't there. I'm not crazy. I didn't say you were. You're implying it. Ronan's smile doesn't reach his eyes. I'm offering you a chance to reconsider, to accept the care we're providing. You're not providing care. You're erasing people. That's a very dramatic accusation. It's what you did to your nephews. The room goes silent. Ronan's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes. Something cold. My nephews, he says slowly, were victims of a tragic accident. Their care has been exemplary. Their care has been a cover. You tried to kill them because they asked the wrong questions. The silver-haired woman gasps. Another council member stands. This is absurd. Is it? Karen's voice cracks. Then explain why every Omega who gets flagged for clearance has the same signature at the bottom of their file. Explain why the facilities you send us to don't have public addresses. Explain why none of us come back. Ronan's jaw tightens. You're unwell, Mr. Baptiste. I'm the only one here telling the truth. Truth is subjective. Not when there are bodies. The words hang in the air like smoke. Ronan's eyes narrow. What bodies? Karen's hands shake. He's gone too far. Said too much. But he can't stop now. Simone, Kairon says. 23. Processed 6 months ago. Where is she? Ronan doesn't answer. Dante, Marcus, Lyric, Amara. Karen's voice rises. Where are they? Those names mean nothing to me. They meant something to the people who loved them. Ronan steps closer. Too close. Kairon can smell his cologne. Expensive. Suffocating. You're playing a dangerous game, Ronan says quietly. I'm not playing. Then you're a fool. Karen's breath shakes. Maybe, but I'm a fool who's still breathing. And that scares you. Ronan's expression hardens. He turns to the council. Mr. Baptiste is clearly experiencing a mental health crisis. I recommend immediate intervention. No, Kairon says. This isn't a negotiation. You're right. It's not. Ronan gestures to someone near the door. 2 security guards step forward. Karen's pulse spikes. He looks around. No exit. No help. This is it. He's going to disappear. Just like the others. The guards reach for him, and the door bursts open. Ilias walks in first, then Kazrin, then Rex in his chair, moving with precision. The council members freeze. Ronan's face goes white. What is the meaning of this? The silver-haired woman demands. Kazrin's voice is calm, controlled. We're here to ensure this proceeding is conducted fairly. You have no authority here. We're Valkyrans, Rex says. We have every authority. Ronan's jaw clenches. You were removed from council privileges. Privileges, not rights. The guards hesitate. They look at Ronan, at the triplets, uncertain. Ilias moves to Karen's side. He doesn't touch him, just stands there, solid, present. Kazrin's unfocused eyes sweep the room. We've heard enough. You've heard nothing, Ronan snaps. We've heard everything, Rex corrects. He holds up a tablet, including the part where you just threatened a pregnant Omega with unlawful detention. Ronan's face hardens. That recording is inadmissible. Maybe, but the press won't care. The room goes silent. Ronan's eyes burn. You wouldn't dare. Kazran's smile is cold. Try us. The standoff stretches. No one moves. No one breathes. Finally, Ronan speaks. This meeting is adjourned. No, Kairon says. Everyone turns. Karen's hands are shaking, but his voice is steady. I'm not leaving until you answer one question. Ronan's expression is carved from ice. What question? Did you order it? Silence. Ronan's eyes meet Karen's. And for just a second, Kairon sees the truth. Not guilt. Pride. Yes, Ronan says quietly. The word drops like a bomb. The council erupts. Voices overlap. Chairs scrape. The secretary's hands freeze over her tablet. Karen's knees buckle. Ilias catches him before he falls. And Ronan smiles. Ronan just confessed. But will it be enough to bring him down? Or does he have a plan to bury them all? Drop your thoughts below. Subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. This is the moment everything changes. Comment and let us know what you think Kairon should do now. The medical board shuts down first. Kairon watches it happen from the window of his room. Kazran stands beside him, listening to the sounds below. Footsteps, raised voices, doors slamming. They're moving fast, Kazran says. Is it enough? Kairon asks. It's a start. 3 days have passed since the council meeting. 3 days since Ronan said the word that changed everything. Yes, the recording went public within hours. Not to the press. Rex was smarter than that. He sent it to the Syndicate's Internal Oversight Committee, to the Medical Ethics Board, to every person in the organization who still believed the system was supposed to protect people. The response was immediate. Medical directive clearance was suspended pending investigation. Delaney was placed on administrative leave. 2 other caseworkers were flagged for review, but Ronan is still free, and that's the part that keeps Kairon awake at night. He confessed, Kairon says. Why isn't he in custody? Kazran's expression is grim, because he has lawyers, and money, and people who owe him favors. So he just gets away with it? Not gets away, delays. Karen's hands curl into fists. How long? As long as he can. The baby kicks. Karen's hand moves to his stomach automatically. 8 months now. The weight is constant, the pressure unbearable some days. But he's still here, still breathing. Ilias enters the room without knocking. He's holding a tablet. His face is tight. He types quickly, turns the screen toward them. 3 facilities shut down this morning. Karen's breath catches. All of them. Ilias nods. What about the people inside? Ilias types again. No one was there. Karen's stomach drops. What do you mean no one was there? The buildings were empty, cleared out. When? Sometime in the last 48 hours. Karen's chest tightens. They knew. They knew we were coming. Kazran's jaw clenches. Ronan moved them. Moved them where? No one answers. Karen's vision swims. He thinks about Simone, about the others, about people who were just cargo to be relocated when the heat got too high. We have to find them, Kairon says. We will, Rex says from the doorway. He wheels into the room, tablet balanced on his lap. But it's going to take time. We don't have time. We have more than they did. The words are meant to be comforting. They're not. Kairon turns back to the window. Below, people are leaving the compound. Staff members, security, people who don't want to be associated with what's coming. The Syndicate is fracturing, Kazran says quietly. Good, Kairon says. Maybe. Or maybe it just makes Ronan more dangerous. Karen's throat tightens. He thinks about the way Ronan looked at him in that council chamber. Not with hatred, with calculation. like Kairon was a problem that required a solution. He's going to come for me, Kairon says. Yes, Rex says honestly. When? Soon. Karen's breath shakes. What do I do? You stay here, you stay safe, and you let us handle it. Kairon turns. I'm not hiding. You're not hiding. You're protecting your child. By doing nothing? By staying alive, Kazran says firmly. Karen's hands shake. He wants to argue, wants to fight. But his body is exhausted. The baby is running out of room. His back aches constantly now. He's not built for war, but war found him anyway. Ilias types. Ronan made a mistake. What mistake? Kairon asks. He confessed on record. Even his lawyers can't erase that. They can bury it. Not if we keep digging. Rex's fingers move across his tablet. We've been tracing his approvals. Every clearance he signed. Every relocation he authorized. It's not just Omegas. Karen's pulse spikes. What do you mean? There are others. People flagged as expensive, inconvenient, risky. How many? Rex's expression darkens. Hundreds. The word hits like a punch. Karen's knees buckle. Kazran moves instantly, steadying him. Hundreds, Kairon whispers. Over 15 years. Maybe more. Karen's vision blurs. He thinks about all those people. All those lives. Erased because someone decided they weren't worth the cost. We have to stop him, Kairon says. We are stopping him. Not fast enough. Kazran's grip tightens on Karen's arm. Listen to me. What you did in that council chamber, what you said, that started something we can't stop now. The system is eating itself. People are asking questions, demanding answers. You did that. I just said 3 words. And those 3 words are dismantling everything Ronan built. Karen's breath shakes. He wants to believe that. Wants to believe his voice mattered. But people are still missing. And Ronan is still free. Ilias types. There's something else. Kairon looks up. What? Your caseworker. Delaney. She's talking. Talking to who? Investigators. She's giving names, dates, locations. Karen's chest tightens. Why would she do that? Rex's smile is thin. Because she knows what happens to people who protect Ronan when he falls. And he's falling. Is she in protective custody? Yes. Will she testify? If she lives long enough. The words are blunt, honest. Karen's stomach turns. Kazran's expression is unreadable. Ronan knows she's talking. He'll try to silence her. Then protect her. We're trying. Try harder. Rex's gaze sharpens. You care about her? After what she did to you? Karen's jaw clenches. I care about the truth. And she's the only one who can prove it. Ilias nods slowly. Types. She's our best chance. Then keep her alive, Kairon says. The room falls silent. Outside, the wind picks up. Kairon can hear it rattling the windows. The baby shifts, pressing hard against his ribs. Kairon winces. Kazran notices immediately. Are you in pain? I'm fine. Don't lie. Kairon exhales slowly. It's just pressure. The baby's running out of space. How long until your due date? For weeks. Kazran's expression tightens. We need to move you somewhere safer. I'm safe here. Not if Ronan decides to act. Then let him act. I'm not running. Kairon. No. Karen's voice is firm. I'm done running. I'm done hiding. I said the words. I started this. And I'm seeing it through. Rex's eyes burn with something close to respect. Even if it kills you? Karen's hand moves to his stomach. Especially then. Silence. Kazran's jaw tightens. Ilias's hands still. Rex's fingers tap once against his chair. Okay. Rex says quietly. Okay. You stay. But you follow our lead. You don't go anywhere without one of us. You don't talk to anyone we haven't cleared. Understood. Kairon nods. And if things go wrong, if Ronan moves faster than we expect, you run. You don't fight. You don't argue. You run. For your child. Karen's throat closes. Understood. Ilias types. We won't let him take you. You can't promise that. We can try. Karen's eyes burn. He blinks hard. The baby kicks again. Harder this time. Like they're fighting too. And somewhere across the city, in an office filled with expensive furniture and cold decisions, Ronan Valkyrencross is planning his next move. Delaney's testimony could destroy Ronan, but will she survive long enough to give it? And what will Ronan do now that he's cornered? Comment your theories. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. The final confrontation is coming, and you won't want to miss it. Share this story and let others know the truth is finally coming out. The pain starts at 2 a.m. Kairon wakes to pressure so intense it steals his breath. His hands fly to his stomach. The baby is moving, thrashing, pushing, desperate. He tries to stand. His legs won't hold him. He hits the emergency button beside the bed. Within seconds, the door opens. Ilias appears first, eyes wide. He takes one look at Kairon and types faster than Karen's ever seen. Get Kazran. Get medical. Now, Kazran arrives within minutes. He can't see the sweat on Karen's face, but he can hear the ragged breathing. Talk to me, Kazran says. Labor, Kairon gasps. It's too early. How early? For weeks. Kazran's jaw tightens. He pulls out his phone. I'm calling the medical team. No hospitals. Karen's voice cracks. Ronan controls the hospitals. Kazran hesitates, then nods. We have a private medical suite here. It's not ideal, but it's safe. Another contraction rips through Kairon. He doubles over, gasping. Ilias is already moving. He helps Kairon to his feet, gentle but firm. They move through the hallway slowly. Every step is agony. Rex meets them halfway. His chair moves silently beside them. Medical team is prepping now. ETA 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Karen's vision swims. I don't have 3 minutes. Yes, you do, Kazran says firmly. Breathe. Count with me. In for 4. Out for 4. Kairon tries. Fails. Tries again. They reach the medical suite. The small but equipped. Monitors. For stands. A bed that adjusts. 2 medics are waiting. A man and a woman. Both young. Both look terrified. We need to examine you, the woman says. Her name tag reads Dr. Ashford. Kairon nods. He can't speak anymore. They help him onto the bed. Dr. Ashford's hands are gentle as she checks his vitals. Her expression tightens. Blood pressure is elevated. Baby's heart rate is fast but steady. Is the baby okay? Kairon gasps. Right now, yes, but we need to monitor closely. Another contraction hits. Karen screams tears through the room. Kazran moves closer. His hand hovers near Karen's. Can I? Kairon grabs his hand and holds on. Kazran doesn't flinch. You're doing great. I'm dying. You're not dying. You're fighting. Ilias stands at the foot of the bed, hands clenched. Rex is near the monitors, watching the numbers like they're a language only he understands. Dr. Ashford checks again. Her face goes pale. What? Kairon asks. What's wrong? The baby's in distress. Heart rate is dropping. Karen's chest seizes. No, please. We need to deliver now, Dr. Ashford says. But you're only 6 centimeters dilated. Then give me something. Speed it up. We can try, but do it. Dr. Ashford nods. She administers medication. The other medic preps equipment. Karen's world narrows to pain, to breath, to the crushing fear that his baby won't survive this. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. Time stops making sense. Kazran stays beside him, talking, grounding him. Tell me something. Kairon gasps between contractions. What do you want to know? Anything. Distract me. Kazran is quiet for a moment. Then he speaks. After the fire, I thought I'd never be useful again. Thought my life was over. It wasn't. No, but it took me years to believe that. To understand that my worth wasn't in what I could see. It was in what I could hear, what I could understand. Karen's grip tightens. You saved me. You saved yourself. We just gave you a place to land. Another contraction. Kairon screams. Dr. Ashford checks again. You're at 10 centimeters. It's time. Karen's vision blurs. I can't. Yes, you can, Kairon says firmly. I'm scared. I know. But you're not alone. Ilias moves closer. Rex's eyes are locked on Kairon. Push, Dr. Ashford says. Kairon pushes. The pain is unbearable. Consuming. He's being torn apart from the inside. Again, Dr. Ashford says. Kairon pushes. And again. And again. His body is failing. He can feel it. His vision tunnels. His hearing fades. Kairon's voice cuts through. Stay with me, Kairon. Stay with me. I can't. Yes, you can. One more. Just one more. Kairon pushes with everything he has left. And then, a sound. Small. Fragile. A cry. Karen's chest heaves. Tears stream down his face. It's a girl, Dr. Ashford says. Her voice is shaking. You have a daughter. Karen's breath stops. A daughter. Dr. Ashford lifts the baby. Tiny, perfect, screaming, and places her on Karen's chest. Karen's hands shake as he touches her. She's real. She's here. She's alive. Hi, he whispers. His voice breaks. Hi, baby. The baby's cries soften. Her tiny hand curls around Karen's finger. Kairon's hand is still holding Karen's other hand. His expression is soft, unguarded. Ilias is crying. Silent tears streaming down his face. Rex's jaw is tight. His eyes are wet. She's beautiful, Kairon says quietly. Kairon can't speak. Can only hold her. Feel her warmth. Her heartbeat against his chest. Dr. Ashford works quickly. Cleaning. Checking. Making sure both of them are stable. She's small, Dr. Ashford says. 4 pounds, 6 ounces. But her lungs are strong. Heart rate is good. She's okay? Kairon asks. She's okay. Karen's chest heaves. Relief crashes over him so hard it hurts. The baby yawns. Her eyes flutter open briefly. Dark. Unfocused. What's her name? Kairon asks. Kairon hasn't thought about it. Hasn't let himself think that far ahead. But now, holding her, feeling her breathe. Zara, he whispers. Zara, Kairon repeats. He smiles. It's perfect. Ilias types. Turns the tablet toward Kairon. Welcome, Zara. Rex's voice is rough. She's going to change everything. Kairon looks down at his daughter. At the life he almost lost. The life the system tried to erase. She already has, Kairon says. For the first time in months, Kairon feels something he thought was gone forever. Hope. Real hope. The kind that burns bright enough to push back the darkness. But the door crashes open. 2 security guards rush in, weapons drawn. Behind them stands a man Kairon recognizes from files. Ronan's head of security. Step away from the Omega, the man says. Kairon moves instantly, placing himself between Kairon and the guards. Ilias's hands fly up, signing frantically. Rex's chair shifts, positioning himself as a barrier. You have no authority here, Rex says. The security chief smiles. Cold. Empty. We have a court order. Kairon Baptiste is to be placed in protective custody pending investigation into mental health concerns. Karen's arms tighten around Zara. No, it's not a request. You're not taking them, Kairon says. The guards advance. And Kairon realizes with cold certainty that Ronan's final move has just begun. Will Ronan's men tear Zara from Karen's arms? Or will the triplets find a way to stop them? Comment what you think happens next. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the explosive final chapter. Everything comes down to this moment. Share your thoughts below and inspire others with your predictions. The standoff lasts exactly 12 seconds. Then Ilias moves. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't signal, just steps forward and slams his palm against the emergency lockdown panel beside the door. Red lights flood the hallway. Alarms scream. Steel barriers drop from the ceiling, sealing the medical suite. The security chief's face goes white. What did you do? Bought us time, Rex says. His fingers fly across his tablet. Medical emergency protocol. No one gets in. No one gets out. Not even with a court order. You can't. Already did. Kairon holds Zara tighter. She's crying now, startled by the noise. He tries to soothe her, but his hands are shaking too hard. Kazran's voice cuts through the chaos. How long do we have? 20 minutes before they override the system, Rex says. Maybe less if Ronan's involved. Then we move now. Dr. Ashford steps forward. He can't be moved. He just gave birth. The bleeding hasn't stopped completely. I can move, Kairon says. His voice is stronger than he feels. Tell me what to do. Kazran turns toward him. There's a service tunnel. Leads to the east wing. We can get you out of the compound. And then what? I run? Hide. You survive. Kairon looks down at Zara, at her tiny face, her perfect fingers. He thinks about Simone, about the others who didn't get a choice. No, he says. Rex's eyes narrow. No, I'm not running. Not anymore. Kairon. Delaney's testifying tomorrow. If I disappear, they'll say I'm unstable. They'll use it to discredit everything. Kazran's jaw tightens. If you stay, Ronan will take you. Take her. Not if we finish this tonight. Silence falls. Even the alarms seem to fade. Ilias types. What are you suggesting? Karen's breath steadies. His mind clears. Call the press. All of them. Tell them there's a story at the Valkyrin compound. Medical suite. Right now. They'll never get past security, Rex says. They will if you unlock the gates. Rex's expression shifts. Understanding dawns. You want to force Ronan's hand, Kazran says slowly. I want to make it impossible for him to hide. The security chief pounds on the barrier. This is illegal detention. You'll be charged. With what? Kairon calls out. His voice is sharp, clear. Protecting a newborn from being kidnapped? Let them charge me. Let them explain to cameras why they're breaking into a medical suite with weapons drawn. Kazran's smile is slow. Dangerous. You're gambling everything. I already did. The moment I walked into your compound. Rex's fingers move across his tablet. I can have reporters here in 15 minutes. Do it. Ilias types. What about Ronan? Let him come, Kairon says. Let him try to explain this on camera. Dr. Ashford touches Karen's arm. You need rest. Your body. My body will rest when my daughter is safe. The doctor's eyes fill. She nods. Rex makes the calls. His voice is calm, controlled, but there's an edge to it, an urgency. They're coming, he says after the third call. 5 different outlets, all asking questions. The security chief's pounding grows louder, more desperate. He's talking into his radio now. Calling for backup. Kazran moves to Karen's bedside. Once those barriers lift, it's chaos. You stay here. Let us handle it. No. Kairon. They need to see me. See her. See what they tried to erase. Kazran's throat works. He nods once. Ilias positions himself at the door. Ready. Waiting. Rex's chair hums as he moves beside the bed. When this is over, they'll come for us too. All of us. I know, Kairon says. And you're okay with that? Kairon looks at Zara. At the life he created. The life the system couldn't destroy. I'm okay with fighting. Rex's smile is sharp, proud. The alarms shift. A new sound. Lower. More ominous. Override incoming, Rex says. 2 minutes. Karen's pulse quickens. He adjusts Zara in his arms. She stopped crying. Her eyes are open now, looking at him. She doesn't know what's coming, but Kairon does. The barriers begin to rise. Slowly, inch by inch. The security chief is already moving, stepping forward, reaching for his weapon. And then, lights. Blinding. Bright. Camera lights. The press arrived faster than expected. They're flooding the hallway, pushing past security. Cameras up. Questions flying. Is it true there's a newborn inside? Is this a medical emergency? Why are armed guards trying to access a delivery room? The security chief freezes. His hand drops from his weapon. Kairon steps into the hallway. His voice carries. My name is Kairon Valkyrin. These men were sent to forcibly remove a newborn and her father from medical care. The cameras swing toward him. Flashes explode. On whose authority? A reporter shouts. Ronan Valkyrin Cross. The name drops like a bomb. More questions. Louder now. Overlapping. Rex wheels into view. We have documentation. Medical records. Court orders signed under false pretenses. Is this related to the medical directive clearance investigation? Yes. The reporters push closer. The security guards back up. Uncertain. Trapped. And then Ronan appears. He moves through the crowd like he owns it. Calm. Controlled. His expression is smooth. Practiced. This is a family matter, Ronan says. His voice is warm. Concerned. My nephew is unwell. We're simply ensuring he receives proper care. By sending armed guards? A reporter asks. For his protection. Protection from what? Ronan's smile doesn't waver. From making decisions he'll regret. Karen's hands tighten around Zara. This is it. He stands. Slowly. Carefully. His legs shake but hold. Dr. Ashford moves to support him. You shouldn't. I have to. He steps into the doorway. Into the lights. Into view. The cameras turn. Focus. Capture. A newborn in his arms. Blood still on his hospital gown. Exhaustion carved into every line of his face. But standing. My name is Kairon Baptiste, he says. His voice carries. Clear. Strong. 3 weeks ago, I was told I would be relocated to a care facility. I was told it was for my safety. I was told I had no choice. The reporters go silent. I was lied to. Ronan's expression hardens. The facility doesn't exist. Not the way they said. It's where omegas go to disappear. Where babies are taken. Where people are erased because someone decided we're too expensive to care about. Cameras flash. Recorders thrust forward. This man, Karen's eyes lock on Ronan, ordered it. Signed the approvals. Built the system. And when 3 boys asked too many questions, he tried to kill them too. Ronan's smile vanishes. That's a serious accusation, a reporter says. It's the truth. And tomorrow you'll hear it from someone else. Someone who helped process the paperwork. Someone who knows every name, every signature, every lie. Ronan's jaw clenches. His hand moves toward his pocket. Ilias is faster. He steps between Ronan and Kairon. The cameras catch it all. You have no proof, Ronan says. Rex holds up his tablet. We have recordings, files, testimony. All of it time-stamped. All of it admissible. You're bluffing. Try me. The standoff holds. No one moves. No one breathes. Then one reporter steps forward. Mr. Cross, are you denying involvement in the medical directive clearance program? Ronan's eyes burn. I'm denying these absurd allegations. Then you'll cooperate with the investigation? I'll do what's necessary to protect my family. Even if it means silencing witnesses? Ronan's mask cracks. Just for a second. Just long enough for the cameras to catch it. This interview is over, he says. He turns. Walks away. The security guards follow. But the damage is done. The reporters swarm. Questions explode. The story is already spreading. Karen's legs give out. Dr. Ashford catches him. Helps him back to the bed. Zara is crying again. Kairon holds her close. Whispers to her. It's okay. We're okay. Kairon's hand finds his shoulder. You did it. We did it. Ilias types. Holds up the tablet. It's not over yet. I know, Kairon says. But it started. The next morning, Delaney testifies. The facilities are raided. 23 Omegas are found in an off-site location. Alive. Terrified. But alive. Ronan is arrested. The Syndicate fractures. Leadership changes. Policies are rewritten. Takes months, years. But the system that tried to erase Kairon, that tried to erase all of them, begins to crumble. And in a small room in the Valkyran compound, Kairon sits with his daughter. Zara is 6 months old now, laughing, reaching for everything. Kazran sits nearby, listening to her babble. Ilias is on the floor, signing to her, teaching her. Rex watches from his chair, a rare smile on his face. She's going to change the world, Rex says. Kairon looks at his daughter, at the life he fought for. She already has, he says. And for the first time in his life, Kairon believes it. The system tried to erase them, tried to decide their worth. But they're still here, still standing, still fighting. And that's enough. This is the end of Karen's journey. But stories like this continue every day. If this moved you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another powerful story that needs to be heard. Drop your thoughts in the comments and inspire others who need to know they're not alone. Share this story. Let the truth be told.